Hey yarn friends, welcome back to LlamaMamaKayla's Yarn Tube. Today is Wednesday, and so for my Wednesday WIP, I am working on Dakota's Yoda blanket. I showed about, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, excuse me, I showed a picture of the blanket, and if hopefully I popped a picture in at the beginning of this video so you can see where I was. I have not sewn any squares together to make new rows. I've worked on squares. I worked on these last night and today. I have a good bit here. And I have some in my bucket that I've not sewn together. They're just squares like this. And then I have a few brown. That's why I'm working on browns now. And I might have a few in my bucket of the browns. But I'm just making these little 2-row grannies to make the Yoda blanket. And then I'm not sewing them together, excuse me. I'm crocheting them together. And I'm crocheting on the top side. So I crochet my squares together like that. Excuse me. And then once I get the whole row made, then I put it to the blanket and then just crochet the whole row on. So that's what I'm working on today. I don't know that I'm going to get this finished by his birthday. I had high hopes that I would, but then, some health issues have come up. And some days I just don't feel well at all. Some days I'm throwing up and till my esophagus is raw. And then I just, don't get really much of nothing accomplished that day. Because I feel so awful. But anyway, I am working on it today, and that's what counts. Just working on it when I can. And Dakota will certainly understand that it's not finished by his birthday. He said, I told him the other day, I said, I don't know if I'm going to have that blanket finished by your birthday. He said, well, you will by one birthday one of these days. So he totally gets it. I did want to update y'all on my health also. I am scheduled to have a surgery this next Wednesday. I'll be having on the 10th, I'll have a feeding tube placed. And they are going to do it laparoscopic. So that means that I'll have not only the stoma to recover and heal from, I'll also have about 3 incisions. And actually the doctor said, he's hopeful to do it laparoscopic, but if for some reason they make those 3 incisions and get in there and figure out they can't do it, then they're going to have to cut my abdomen open and put it in that way. He said, one way or another, you're leaving here with, that was supposed to be 2 chains. He said, one way or another, you're leaving here with a feeding tube. So, I guess I'll have a feeding tube next Wednesday. And I'll probably be in the hospital a day or 2 after that, he said. And depending on if they have to do laparoscopic or if they have to cut me open, depending on that, according to that, it'll depend how many days. Hopefully it'll just be laparoscopic and it'll just be a day or so. And I can get back home. I don't like being away from home. Okay. There's a square down. One more square closer to being done. And I haven't weaved in the ends on those, but I did all of these. I just sat here and did all the ends on those. And I usually do these as I go, but I'll just crochet some up and then get the ends in. But anyway, yes, back to my feeding tube procedure. I am nervous about it. Don't get me wrong, I am, but I'm also kind of ready to get it over with and ready to get nutrition in, the right amount of nutrition and I'll see if that doesn't help me, but yet also I'm dreading the whole thing. I dread having the procedure done. I dread the pain afterwards, the healing of the stoma, and now healing of incisions. I dread all that. I dread dealing with the feeding tubes. With the feedings, and it'll be a peg tube. So it'll be a little hose that hangs out my abdomen on the left side. Elijah, when he had a feeding tube, he had a feeding tube for 16 years. When his was put in, he started off with a peg tube, and then he was able to change to a Mickey button about 6 weeks later, I believe. But I asked the doctor would I be able to change to a low profile button, and he said he did not know if that would work for me or not. We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm thinking, he didn't say, but I'm thinking because I'm fat, the button might not fit right. So who knows? If I starve long enough, I might be able to wear a button. Anyway, I am a belly sleeper. So this is one of my main concerns. I sleep on my stomach. I'm not going to be able to do that with a tube hanging out of my stomach. That would be very painful. It's already going to be, the stoma is going to be real sore and messy, to say the least, because they do leak and ooze and bleed and can get infected. So that's already going to be a little messy there, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I sleep on my stomach. I cannot sleep any other way. I can lay on my left side and fall asleep, and then I'll, end up on my stomach, though. I always wake up on my stomach. But even if I'm on my, my left side, I won't be able to lay on my left side because the tube will be on my left side, and it'll be leaking and such, and so I can't lay on my left side. So I'm supposed to lay on my back. I don't even know about the right side, but I really can't lay on my right side because I just don't lay on that side. And that's the side that faces into the bed. And I can't sleep that way. I can't sleep facing Big Daddy, because Big Daddy has a CPAP machine, and I just can't sleep facing him. So anyway, also I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so I want to face the doorway, and so we can't really change sides of the bed because I wouldn't be able to handle that either. Even when we're in a hotel or something like that, we both have to sleep the way we do at home. I sleep on my side of the bed and he sleeps on his side of the bed. Even if me and him has been in a hotel and we had 2 double beds, and I had a bed to myself and he had a bed to himself, we both have to sleep in the way that we do at home. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Probably I'll be in so much pain that I can't move. It'll hurt to move, and so I'll maybe fall asleep. I don't know. I can't really lay on my back because I suffocate because I have big breasts. I'm just being honest with you guys. I have big breasts, and I feel like I'm suffocating when I lay on my back. And I do have, where our bed, the whole bed is raised the height of 1 2x4. We couldn't raise it any higher than that because also me and Jody both have trouble with our legs and feet swelling. And so we, can't really raise the bed any higher than that. So under my side of the mattress, though, I do have a wedge triangle. that raises me up for, you know, acid reflux issues. And and plus, whenever you tube feed and you have feedings going in at night, you need to be raised up like that too, so that they don't just run up into your esophagus and aspirate that and everything. So I need that raised up anyway for the night feedings. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm hoping maybe I'll just be in so much pain I'll just pass out and go to sleep. It won't be an issue about not being able to sleep on my back. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm facing, and you know, it'll be fine. I'll get through it. We'll make do. We'll get through it. We'll push forward. I mean, I'm not happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm quite sad about it, but it's no use in crying over it, I suppose. You know, that's the way I am with things. In the beginning, I'm upset. For instance, when I have had a finger to start dying on me and I can tell that finger is dying, you know, I'll be upset because I know I'm losing that finger. And, but then, you know, as time goes on, adjust and get better and deal with it. And by the time I get, you know, the finger amputated, I've been ready to just get it over with. Just do it, get it over with, cut it off. And so I'm about getting that way with the feeding tube, just get it over with. But I am still dreading it too. Oh, goodness. Yeah, when I saw my surgeon the other day, he come in and he said, when he came in the room, he said, "How you been doing, Miss Miller?" And I said, "Not too good." And he said, "Yeah, that's what your doctor told me." Because my doctor had called him and talked to him and told him what was going on and what he and the GI doctor had decided for me. But anyway, in the end, he said, one way or another, you're leaving here with a G-tube. I mean, not G-tube, a peg tube. So, in the meantime, while I'm feeling bad, I've also got to get my house ready for this all to happen. I need to get my house ready for, you know, me to go away and have surgery, and for me to come home and feel bad and not be able to do stuff. And also, I'm trying to make a space for feeding tube supplies, because let me just tell y'all, that is a lot of supplies coming my way. I know that because we had to deal with that with Elijah. Lots and lots of bags, pump supplies, feeding supplies, tubes, syringes, all that kind of stuff to clean it with. You know, and you gotta have all that stuff readily on hand, right, all together for working with your tube and hooking it up and all that kind of stuff. Cleaning it, flushings. I mean, it's a lot to it. It is a lot. So I'm gonna have, and then plus formula, and then the formula bags. It's gonna be a lot to have all these supplies that I need. Right now, I do not have a space for them, so I'm gonna have to make a space. I was looking on online today, and they have these carts with the drawers, those plastic carts. You probably know what I'm talking about. Half of you probably have them in your yarn room, or with stuff for yarn and stuff. But there's some tall, skinny carts that has like rainbow drawers. So I was looking at those, and I think something like that might be a good deal for me. They have some with flat drawers. They have some with deep drawers, and I was looking to see if they had one with deep and flat drawers. That way a deep drawer would hold more of the feeding bags and stuff. So I'm looking at getting something like that to help organize, but I'll also need a space to set boxes of formula and boxes of feeding bags and boxes of syringes. Yeah, it's a lot. When Elijah had a tube, I had a closet in the kitchen that had one of those plastic drawer sets. It was the long plastic drawers, and it was full of all that stuff. We no longer have that closet. Once our home had flooded, when we rebuilt, we turned that closet into something else. So I no longer have that closet. But what I was going to say was he had these three, I think it was like 3 drawers, but they were the really long ones. And I had all his stuff in there. And then he also had a little caddy, plastic caddy type thing with a handle. Basically a little square like that with a handle and open sections. And you could put syringes and ointments and tubes and gauze and all that kind of stuff in there. And I would carry that around back to his room or whatever to doctor his stuff and tend to him. But I don't have that little container anymore either, so I might have to find something like that. And then also I've got to find myself a backpack that will hold my pump and feeding bag of formula, because when I'm at home I'll have an IV pole that my pump is hooked to, and I'll just pull that IV pole around with me. But when I go out, I'll have to put my pump into a backpack and my feeding bag that has formula in it. I have to go into the backpack too. So I've got to find a backpack suitable for that. So I have a lot of things I need to do. Plus, there's things I want to crochet and make and do, get my house ready. Like I said, I gotta make a space for supplies, and I just need to organize. I need to clean up my yarn room, because it is a mess. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It's a mess. And I'm hoping that I would have home health to come when I come home from the hospital. I don't know for sure that they would, but I would like that. I was going to ask the social worker at the hospital if that is a possible thing. I know before when I had this finger cut off, they cut that finger off. I think home health came for a few days after that. So that would be fine. And like I said, Elijah had a feeding tube. I'm familiar with giving feeds. I got to relearn feeding math, because it is a lot of math that goes into that. According to how many ounces you're given, how long you want that formula to last, how many calories you're wanting to get at this time, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a lot of math to it, so I got to relearn formula math, feeding tube math, I guess. I have forgotten all of that, so I got to relearn that. But yeah, I mean, I know how to give feeding tubes and flushes and all that kind of stuff. I definitely did that on Elijah all the time. I would even change his button out, take it all the way out, and then clean the stoma and put a new button in. Okay, so I've done all that before. I'm really familiar with that. But you know what? I've never done that on myself while I was in a lot of pain. Because I never felt any pain while I was doing his. No, after his had healed up, he didn't feel much pain either. It was uncomfortable for changes and sometimes cleanings, but he wasn't always in pain. So in the beginning, yes, it's pain because you got to open raw, you know, something just stabbed through your stomach. And so I've never done that. I've never had to do feedings or, things like that on myself while I was in a great deal of pain. So if a home health nurse could come for a few days, maybe even a week, just to help me do that while I'm in so much pain, that would be helpful. So I'm going to ask about that. The problems with any time we've had home health to come, whether it was for me or Elijah or whatever, they want to come at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm not always up at 8 o'clock in the morning. With my health and my issues and acid reflux and throwing up in the middle of the night and all that, I'm up and just in general pain, because pain is much worse at night. I am up all hours of the night. I might get up and go to bed 4 or 5 times throughout the night. And a lot of times I don't fall asleep well until Jody leaves for work. So as he leaves for work, then I just kind of relax and fall asleep. And so that would mean I would be falling asleep at like 7 a.m. and home health would be knocking on my door at 8 a.m. Yeah. I don't want them coming that early if they do come. Surely they would have other patients they could go and see me later in the day. Anyway, I'm going to express all those concerns and thoughts to whoever needs to hear them. I want home health, but I don't want home health at 8 a.m. And a lot of times I'm just up at night crocheting because that's when it's quiet and I can watch a movie or YouTube videos and no one's talking or whatever to me. Our dogs aren't barking and just things aren't going crazy around here. And another thing about the sleeping position, I currently lay on my left side at night and I might doze off on my left side and then roll to my belly. But I have my nightstand set up on, not my nightstand. I have my tablet is on my nightstand and it's in a case and it's kind of propped up there. And I watch, Netflix or Prime or whatever on there at night. And I don't move it. Even if I'm watching YouTube videos or whatever, I don't pick it up. It stays in that one position 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I never pick it up or move it or use it anywhere else. I don't pick it up and try to comment on videos or anything like that because it's in that position and I'm not going to sit there and try to get it back in the position to stand up again and all that kind of stuff. So I don't touch it. It stands there. But if I'm laying on my back, I won't be able to see it. So I don't know. We got to figure something out because I don't want to lay there in the bed and not be able to see a tablet to watch a show or anything or watch YouTube videos. We'll have to figure that out. Anyway, yeah, so I just thought I'd give you guys an update on, what's going on, my health update, and an update on my WIP that I don't know if I'm going to get finished. Like I said, my surgery is this coming up next Wednesday on the 10th, and Dakota's birthday is 10 days after that, so... And I'm going to work real hard on it these next few days through the weekend and all. But like I said, I also got other things I've got to get done. I've got to get my yarn room cleaned up. And the reason why that's important, if it was just a back room of the house, it would not matter, not one bit. But my yarn room is the parlor of the house. And so it's the first room that you walk into when you arrive at our home. And so it's out of control, and it needs to get back in control before I'm down and I went too many rows. Why didn't y'all tell me to stop? She said, stop! You're done. I do that sometimes. Usually when I'm just thinking about something. I have finished the third row before, and then I'm like, I wasted all that time. But I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all's thoughts and prayers. It means the world to me. You just don't know. Please, continue to pray that this will help me and that I will feel better once I get nutrition, and that, the surgery goes fine.